showing DMs. Pippa's like, I'll try. What's the login? Ken Ashcore saying, sorry if I bothered you. Wait, I need find. Let me know. Did you download the mod rinth? And they're like, wait, here's an email. Can you send the code? And Ken was like, this is the most you've talked to me, and it's to a Turkish scammer with my account. See, that's how you know I've been hacked, if I actually reply several times in a row, you know? Like, I deleted the post with the email that was sent to me last night because apparently it's coming from someone who is pretending to be Kodiak and is not actually Kodiak himself. I don't want anyone to be falsely accused. I posted the email in question because I don't believe that anyone who sends that kind of threat deserves to remain anonymous. But if it's causing harm to someone who is innocent, it's not worth it at that point. Leave Kodiak alone and worry about the one impersonating him and apparently multiple others. The email being used to send these messages needs to be investigated. I also never accused anyone myself of anything. I posted the email address and that the message came from, and my post only said okay. I didn't tag anyone or point fingers. I showed the name and email associated with the message itself. That's not an accusation. Espiritu said he tried to reach out to you to tell you it wasn't him and you banned him from your server. Clear that you had no plans to fix the mistake until more people called you out. This is classic Vex. You attack people, get exposed, try to double down, and mass block to cover your tracks. Then, when the heat is too much and you're exposed to the point of no return, you delete and gaslight. I also never accused anyone myself of anything, but you did, and again, it's you trying to gaslight and spin a story. Why the fuck did Advanced GG drop people like Straub and Rev in the face of a cancel mob, but keep this absolute piece of shit who has done nothing but denigrate other people?
Good question.
Like, it's actually insane. It's actually insane that anyone takes this individual seriously at this point. Anyone else who has done as much damage as this person has, they wouldn't be given the fucking time of day, man. It's insane. If he actually got fired from his job because of this person, like, making false accusations, that is incredibly ridiculous. Your source is Vex, a known liar. Thank you for proving my point. You lied about him, attacked him, and then yet again, I'm the victim for being called out. And this shows a screenshot of a potential community note saying Kodiak did join Vex's server, however was banned after allegedly he attacked the Discord community at 7 in the morning using slurs. From appearance, there is no evidence of him trying to directly reach out to Vex, who was allegedly asleep at the time. What a shitty fucking community note. What an absolutely so it just confirms what Espiritu said, and then adds some random allegation about him using slurs. What the fuck? Yeah, you need to be extra nice when you visit the server of the people slandering you, otherwise they'll continue doing so. Jesus fucking Christ. And then there's this one, Kodiak derangement syndrome is real, Vex milk if you want, we can discuss this, which is what I tried to do in your Discord this morning, which is why I want your attention. You are clout chasing and using my name to do it, stop. All you did here was give me more ammo for your sponsor and how much they screwed me. We went from not paying me to now slandering me. Advanced GG, wrangle your thought of a VTuber, she messed up here, fix it. And he's quote retweeting someone that said, when you need the simp money that bad, but you can't play the cancer card anymore, so you go for the most obvious impersonation shit to ever get sympathy. KodiakVT derangement syndrome is real. I said it months ago, and the internet keeps proving me right every single fucking day. This is a screenshot that says, like, some real name with Kodiak Hotmail email, which is apparently not him. It says, hey Vex, I just want you to know that you will make a great rape victim. Holy shit. Since you like to whore yourself out, if there's one thing you deserve, it's getting raped and having your screams of anguish out for the world to see. Do yourself a favor and kill yourself now, and it's a damn shame cancer has not taken you out. Long live Israel? What the fuck? It's like they can't even make like a fake hate email without revealing themselves. What the fuck? They're just like, hey, by the way, you'd make a great rape victim. Long live Israel! What a fucking retard! Oh my god. You know what I did? When I got put on someone's rape list on Twitter, I took a screenshot of me being on the rape list, and I asked why I was like number 138. I was like, I'm way too far down, honestly. Like, what are we doing here? The Foxu has fallen and she can't get up. Tone appropriate ending, really? Jesus Christ. After some careful IP tracing of the email address, turns out the person who sent it may be in Maine while Kodiak is in Kentucky. I hope they find out who made this fake ass fucking email, because there's no way. There's no way this is actually getting sent to Vex. This is not a real angry person. Aunt McLeod, thank you for the 15 months, my guy, thank you. Let me see, I got some more links here, hold on. Let's see, Neven here saying, absolute gaslighting bitch, maybe wait a bit longer before assuming people forgot. Keep begging for cancer money while you're actually just funding tattoos and Disney trips. This is something that makes me really fucking angry. Like, not just specifically with, like, Vex lying about cancer or whatever the fuck she may or may not be lying about, but, like, the amount of VTubers who continuously do, like, oh, here's, like, a donation goal because I fucked up. Here's a donation goal for rent. Here's a donation goal for the doctor. Here's a donation goal for the vet. Here's a donation goal for fucking taxes. I don't know. It's just, like, holy shit. There's, like, I know people think of VTubers as, like, these inept women that can't do anything, but sometimes you have to think, maybe I'm being rug pulled here. Maybe I should ask for some more receipts before I start dumping things here. Dono goal for the labiaplasty. I'd believe that one. Vex, screenshots here. I'm going to keep it short and easy for others to understand where I stand on the situation with Advanced GG. Fuck Ice and fuck Rev. I mean that with my entire heart. He doesn't deserve to be a part of this. I had to check the date because I was like, what the fuck? Company, but I'm also understanding of the fact that there are legal proceedings that have to happen with a contract of this caliber. Dude, she is so fucking high on her own farts. Can you imagine, like, the power trip that she is on after being a big reason why Revenstraub got dropped? This is why you don't capitulate to these people. Because they won't stop. They will just escalate chasing that high again and again. One time you saw a dono goal for someone's bottom surgery? No, see, that's also fine. Right, because that's like, they're probably being honest that they're raising money for that, right? But when someone is continuously, like, month after time, doing, like, doctor, doing vet, doing taxes, all of these things, they're not, like, that inept. They're not getting hit that many times. They're very likely lying to you about what they're using the money for. She also doxed Kodiak's job and got him fired. She reported... Is there proof of that, though? Because I've seen you guys saying that. But none of these, I've seen her say that she's, like, gone to his job. I haven't seen him say that his job called him or anything. I don't know what... I'm waiting to hear an official statement before I make any decision towards my own contract, as I currently cannot afford to abandon any form of income that I have. I was the scapegoat because I was the first thing they saw when they logged onto the website that... No, shut the fuck up, you dumb lying cunt. This is Straub responding. You definitely were actively involved as someone who can also be very emotional. I don't think this has anything to do... What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Jesus Christ. I'm not a bad person and I don't deserve to be treated the way I've been treated. I would say that calling Vex a bad person is too good for them. I would say this is like a diametrically evil person that needs to get some severe psychiatric help and leave the internet for a while. Like, this is not a good human being. This is an evil person who needs some mental health help that hopefully they can get better. Like, it's absolutely fucked. The Spiritu here saying, no, we already read... Yeah, we already read this. We already read this. You guys said to check Kodiak's Twitter. Oh, it's intended for certain audiences, so... Alright, okay. Alright. Fucking... I'm assuming this is the right one.
I did know the guy from my days. So it was pretty easy remembering all of his hangout spots. And
all right, plus 20 dB,
yeah,
we got there.
He's gonna get the book thrown at him. I've been assured that from both the sheriff himself and the district attorney of Frankfurt. So so that problem resolved itself. We were watching Mocha's stream actually in the hospital yesterday, so Mocha, thank you for being a sport with my little sister Lily and my little sister Anna asking you questions through me there. I really appreciate that. You made her day, Mocha. And I can guarantee you in the future you've got yourself a fan. When it comes to, okay, so let me actually give you guys an actual appropriate timeline here. I got on a flight yesterday at 10:30. I did not see a single post from Vex that mentioned me at all. On top of that, I went home, went to bed, got about 4 hours of sleep. Rolled into my job early this morning at 6:15 like I normally do every day. During that time, when I'm just like sitting on my desk trying to wake up, I do look on X, and I noticed that there was a Hotmail email account going around, and a lot of my responses were, "That's not me, guys. I don't know where you're getting this from. That's not me." And I left it alone. Fast forward to a couple of hours, and somebody had posted on X that they think they know where I work. Which then I reposted. Sorry that I'm moving slow, chat.
And this tweet is also deleted. Whatever was in this tweet from Dad Van Drad, this is also deleted. I don't know if anybody has an archive link to that tweet, but I very much want to know what that is.
Which then I reposted this right here, which is now conveniently deleted. And
Archive everything. This was like Kodiak's first mistake. He should not have tweeted this, and he should not have quote tweeted this until he archived that tweet. Anytime you see something like this, fucking archive it. I had like so many archives of shit when I was going through my cancellation campaign. Archive everything. It will come in handy. Anyone trying to tell you to not keep receipts is a fucking retard that you should ignore. Your first order of business whenever you go through anything like this, do not respond, do not tell anybody else, do not do anything before you archive.
don't worry, I got screenshots of it. I screenshotted it on my phone.
At least he has screenshots, but please archive.
The dude who posted it's actually in there. He's in the feed. Sent towards you. I found the person that sent the email. Nothing from my search tied to your account. Well, guess what, dude? Which I'll get into here in a second. So this was posted at 10 a.m. Alright? Close to it. My time, because X calculates everything. I officially... My first message was out to Mocha. Mocha messaged me literally that very same morning, literally 30 minutes after that. And I won't share those DMs because, well, I don't have Mocha's permission. But she informed me of it. I told her basically I already knew. And, yeah. From there, where's, by the way, guys, thank you for all the messages. Hey, yeah, I wanna shoot, baby. God dang it. I appreciate all the follows, guys, but can you guys please let me get through this, please? Thank you for the follow, though. Literally, at 10:34,
It's about half an hour later.
So it took 30 minutes approximately. I sent DJ a message. Hey, man.
I don't know who DJ
I just
is.
got fired from my job.
What the fuck?
Now, the way that it went down from the company that I work for, whom I will not dox, because I think that doxing is an evil fucking practice.
And that's where I'm gonna stop him. No. This is the exact same thing I said when, what's his name? Kangmin Lee. When he had cancel culture come down on him and he lost a position because of it. And he was like, oh, I'm not gonna name the university or whatever. And it's like, no. They're going to keep getting away with it if you don't name them. They got calls from people literally lying about you, someone impersonating you, and they fired you for it. That you absolutely should name them and be like, enjoy your tortious interference lawsuit to Vex Milk and this Dad Vandrad guy, and then also probably have repercussions against the company as well. Now, I will say, you will probably need some funds if you're going to go in that direction, because the cease and desist I sent to Vice was not exactly cheap. That's it was not quite triple digits for the cost, but it was pricey. You dox a person and not a company. It's the right thing to shame a company, which needs to be done publicly. It's like maybe he's hoping he can get his job back if he can prove that, like, this is fucking bullshit. I wouldn't want to work for a company that's like, yeah, we're just gonna believe some random bullshit an anonymous person called and told us about. Triple digits under oh, no. Sorry. And I said triple digits, I was thinking of, like, 100,000. For some reason, that's 6 digits. It was under 6 digits. Sorry, I'm bad at math, chat.
And right now I have a lawyer looking into it, which I don't want to disclose on the internet. They basically came up to my desk, a guy from HR plus a security officer from the front desk of the building came up to my desk, and he told me, you need to pack your things. Apparently, we are firing you this morning. My first question to the guy that came up to me was like, what did I just get fired for? And basically what he told me was, we got an anonymous complaint that you have been essaying women on the internet. And this company cannot tolerate that from its employees. They stated you by first and last name, which is how we knew it was you. I didn't want to cause a fuss. They gave me one little cardboard box. Took me about 2 minutes to put all my stuff in that box. And I calmly walked out the door. The first place that I went, guys, was I went back to where I spread Kratos' ashes. I literally sat on top of that mountain since around probably noon today. And I'm just getting home now at around 2:30.
I think that gives us quite a bit of information. What the actual fuck? What the actual fuck, dude? Chatter Seth VT has the archive. Oh, fuck yeah, brother. Hey, Kirsche, did you see the Fauna Grows dropped Vex Milk after the doxing thing? I don't know what a Fauna Grows is. It's a small business run by one of Vex's friends. If Vex's friends are dropping them and Advanced GG still isn't, who on the Advanced GG ownership team is Vex Milk fucking would be my next question. Because there's no company that would keep someone after this. Absolutely fucking none. Okay, so that is that. I'm pretty sure I found his job and stuff. Give me a sign and I'll handle it. Oh. Oh. Holy shit. I hope these people get fucked into the dirt. I hope that, like, right, even if they have absolutely no money to their name, it's about sending a message. Like, I would take 10 cents out of every single paycheck they got for the rest of their lives if it meant sending them a message to not do this evil, disgusting bullshit to people. Like, they get such big heads online from being able to cancel culture people from sponsors. You just lost this guy his fucking job. You made up some bullshit fucking email to get sympathy points online and then lost someone else's job over it. You deserve less than nothing. You are the one who deserves to be jobless and moneyless and hopefully begging so you don't lose the roof over your fucking head. You are an evil, disgusting individual. 10 cents, that's all they're paying. I am pissed. I fucking hate seeing this shit happen to people. And it's not gonna stop until more people stop bending the knee to these absolute disgusting, like, worm freaks. I'm gonna fucking slur. I'm so mad. Angelic Wisdom, thank you. Glowing so hard right now? Yeah, I was not expecting to glow as hard as I am today. That is, this is just completely unacceptable behavior. Like, I know everyone's focused on, like, the quartering's unacceptable behavior right now, but I think this is, like, slightly worse, right? Like, he's trying to get Kino Casino's, like, revenue shut down, and that's the same exact thing. But this guy just lost his real-life job as well. Like, that's insane. And I hope more people pick up this story. I really hope that he can maybe get some crowdfunding going and get a lawyer, because these people should not be able to get away with something like this. Yeah, this is 100% a lawsuit. 100%. And I would even, in his position, since his work took like some random anonymous tip of people purposefully trying to harm him, spoofing fucking emails to try and get him in trouble, I hope he goes to the EEOC. I hope he says, I've been discriminated against because people trying to harm me went to my company and gave false rape or sexual assault allegations, and I got fired for it. I feel like that's discrimination, that they're just wholesale believing an anonymous tip with no proof. Foxu's commenting on the KodiakVT being doxxed. Yeah, it's actually, like, I am fucking mad. People should not be losing their jobs over this shit, like, in any way, shape, or form. This was the tweet that I put out with, like, that video I just recorded when I sent you guys to the void. I was like, are you actually kidding me? Vex Milk, you're beyond a disgusting individual, and I hope you get the psychiatric help you need. You don't make up some fake-ass spoofed email to defame someone, get pity points for it online, and then go after their fucking job. I know you probably felt the power trip from getting Rev and Straub cut from Advance and are chasing the high to harm more people, but this is so insanely fucked up, I do not know where to begin. This is apparently the kind of person Advanced GG wants as a partner, over creators who actually make them money and didn't actively try to get other creators dropped from sponsors or their real-life jobs. Fuck everyone who supports this kind of shit, and I hope lawsuits get rightfully served to Vex, the other scumfuck coordinating, and to his company for wrongful termination. This is like, I cannot even, like, just make words happen. This is so fucking Darvo suit. It's so fucking atrocious. Kodiak is a nice guy. I've never interacted with him, but like this kind of shit makes me viscerally angry. You do not do this. I'm gonna push back on Kodiak again. First of all, you can't dox a company. Second of all, the company will keep doing this. They absolutely will feel insulated because the people who cause them problems won't shut up. They won't be like, oh, well, you know, we should show respect. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that. Kodiak's a reasonable person, and that's good enough for these freaks. It's so fucking awful. And, like, I was in the same position as him when it came to, like, the beginning of my cancel campaign, because, like, I didn't want to call out in-game studios. I didn't want to call out 505 for what they did after the Vice articles. I was like, if I do that, you know, people might attack me more because they might see me as, like, trying to start drama, because that's how it always fucking is. If it weren't for Asmongold encouraging, like, no, put these fucking companies in their place. Call them out. They will keep doing it if you don't make a stopgap. I was like, you know what? You're fucking right. You're fucking right, Asmon. And that's what made me come out and talk about it. John in English, thank you. Apparently Vex got hate comments from someone impersonating Kodiak. Yeah, it's a spoofed fucking email. It's not even him. It's not him. It's not associated with him. It's on, like, the other side of the country. I would not be fucking shocked if Vex Milk or that other fucking scumfuck wrote it themselves in order to get attention. If you remember correctly, Kodiak is the one that Advanced GG stole from. Yeah, that's right. He was the one that was saying they didn't fucking pay him out. That's what it was. That's what I talked about with him previously. Holy shit, dude. And you would bet on Vex creating the account based off the type of person Vex seemed to be from the Rev Straub thing? Yeah. As Kodiak's little brother, you're very happy I'm talking about this? I hope he can figure out a way to get some repercussions. I know lawsuits are costly. If he wins, he could probably get all of that money back from them, right? For, like, the damages. I haven't gotten that far since I didn't have to go farther with Vice after my cease and desist. They just took everything down. I didn't have to go farther. But I'm gonna learn soon, hopefully, about what that kind of system's like. You mean she very much appears to be lying about cancer multiple times? I have no idea if she is or isn't lying about cancer, but she's definitely someone I would not trust as far as I can fucking throw them. They had cancer 6 times? Do they live next to Chernobyl? Maybe they just create radiation in their body from how fucking disgustingly evil they are. You can't wait for one of her defenders to you can't attack a cancer survivor. I don't give a fuck! I don't give a fuck! You survived the cancer! And now you'll have to contend with me! You survived the cancer just to become it. Avex's behavior makes it difficult for actual cancer patients to crowdfund in the future. I mean, I feel like that every time, like, when I put up, like, a dono goal for, like, a medical thing, like, when I got my wisdom teeth removed, I had a dono goal up. When, I didn't put up one up for Ziggy recently, but, like, I've done those before, and I try to show the bills with any, like, personal information redacted, because it's like, there's so many VTubers who, like, do these donathon things, or they do these donation goal things, and they're just lying about where the money's going. They're just like, oh no, I can't make my rent this month, please help me pay my rent, and then they just go and buy, like, a model, or they go and they take a vacation. It's just, I hate it. I hate it so much. Kodiak is good people. He does not deserve any of what's happening to him. Not at fucking all. Not at all, dude. Asmongold reveals his very traditional views on marriage. I'm sure I'll agree with everything said in this video.
And the thing is that she's actually not wrong.
So this thing behind him says Maggie Anders, Gen Z influencer, and it says something about at-home boyfriend is a new economic trend. Well, it's not really an economic trend, because if you're a stay-at-home boyfriend, you're not making any income. A stay-at-home wife wouldn't be an economic trend. That would just be a normal wife.
Like, I have very traditional views on marriage. I think that you should be able to earn a living with one person working,
yep.
And the person working should be the man.
Should be the man, yeah.
And the woman should stay home and take care of the kids.
Yeah,
I
agree.
Never force a woman to do that, but I would want to be in a relationship or a marriage with a woman who wanted to do that.
See, and therein lies the problem. There are too many men who try to turn a hoe into a housewife, and so they complain about being forced to stay home in bondage and slavery and servitude to their husband. But it's like, if you took even half a second to think about things, I would rather be at home, fucking gardening, making food, living with my cats, playing with my baby, rather than having to commute to an office and being a wage slave. Like, that just sounds so much fucking better. How is that slavery? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
How do I know that works? Jeez, guys. I don't know. Maybe, like, all of history? Yeah, maybe like the whole time. Like, that's it. You need capital. Yes, exactly. All of history, maybe. So, what about before with no kids? Well, why would you get married and not want to have kids?
Yeah, that's a good
retarded?
question.
You just date her. That way you can kick her to the curb later on if she gets annoying. Well, I mean, really, like, I mean, well, we gotta say taxes. Just change the way taxes are.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I would do.
No more incentives for single mothers to just shit out kids with no dads. Give it to the married people with kids.
This is beyond me, right? This is beyond what my opinion is that I think that they should change it to where basically if you're married and you only have one person in the family working, you should get a crazy amount of tax benefits.
Yeah.
You should get crazy.
Yeah, you should.
Get more tax benefits. Get this. than Somalian scammers in Minnesota.
In fact, we should take all of the benefits the Somalian scammers in Minnesota get and give them to the men who are the sole income provider to their families. That'd be great. Start taxing single mothers to give to intact families with kids. Yeah, call it the your choice tax, right? And it's like, it's really hard to do this in current year. And I can understand why stay-at-home boyfriends are becoming an economic trend. Because one, American men, and especially white American men, are being rejected from the workforce. So they're having a harder time getting jobs, harder time getting an income to support a family. Meanwhile, women get DEI'd into tons of high-paying jobs. And that's going to flip the way that the traditional relationship typically has been. And you know why that is a double-pronged, terrible idea? How do I word this in a way that people won't get really fucking mad? I don't think there is one. If you're a woman who has prioritized career over family and you're in a high-paying job, or if you're someone like me who's just accidentally found yourself in a decently paying job, thanks to my audience, because this was not exactly the direction I pictured my life going in when I was younger, you know? You're going to have a high income, and you still want a man who is a provider. A man who is a provider for you with high income is going to be someone who either matches or exceeds your income. Men at those income brackets are not looking for 40-year-old career women. You're not going to get that provider man. You're going to get the stay-at-home boyfriend. It's just unreasonable to expect that the only men you will date are going to be someone making equivalent or more than you in money to be able to pick up the tab when you are no longer working. And women, biologically, like men who are providers.
Spicy cat raid. What
so
the hell is
let's take a second
raid?
here. Let's take a second. Women like men who are providers. It's attractive that the man provides for you and your children. Now, you are a wealthy woman who does not need a man to provide, but you are also unable to get a man who has a provider income. So instead, you get a stay-at-home husband. A lot of women are going to look down on that stay-at-home husband because he is not a provider, and they have inverted the natural state of things. And it's like, I've talked about this before, because it's like, I want a traditional marriage. I want to have a man that is a provider, but I have to come to terms with the fact that that's likely not going to happen because of the place that I am in life. I am probably not going to find a man that makes as much or more money than I currently do. That is a very, very tiny, limited pool of people. And that becomes even more limited when I put in, I would like a white man. I would like a white man who's not yet bald. All right? Like, messing with the natural order. You don't go messing with the natural order.
You fools! You've messed with the natural order!
So it's like, I have to comprehend that, okay, I'm not going to get a provider for a husband. I would still like to be able to stay home when I have a child and take care of it. And so I need to have a man that at least makes okay money. And that's fine, right? It doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be insane. I just need at least a guy who's going to provide while at home in a different way. They won't provide financially, but they'll provide via manual labor. And so I should, in theory, be perfectly fine. Reminder that if you date a man with a lower income, you're a dangerous predator because of the power imbalance. Well, fuck. Democrat Rep. Yvette Clark said she needs more illegal immigrants in her district for redistricting purposes.
I'm from Brooklyn, New York. We have a diaspora that can absorb a significant number of these migrants. And when I hear colleagues talk about,
we got to make worse life for African Americans in this country so that we can bring in more people. What the fuck is this woman?
The doors of the inn being closed. No room in the inn. I'm saying, I need more people in my district, but just for redistricting purposes. And those members could clearly fit here. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. We have
Yeah, literally just the quiet part out loud. Yeah, we need more illegals for redistricting. We need them for their votes, actually, but they're not voting. Shut up. The New York Times tells us the story of an illegal alien couple from Honduras who were expecting their first child. After being deported last year due to a charge for drug possession, they snuck back across the US border, a felony, to ensure that their son would be born as an American. They were then deported yet again, but their son is now an American citizen with the same rights as you and I. This is why the Supreme Court needs to overturn birthright citizenship. 1,000%. That's not an American, that's a Guatemalan. And they tried to exploit our system by coming back here a second time illegally, committing a felony in order to make sure that paperwork-wise, their baby was an American so they could have access to our systems. This should not happen. This should not be allowed. And this is an excerpt saying, her baby, Gail, was born a month early in South Texas Hospital. As Gail slept, the officer explained that a bus had arrived to take Miss Acosta back to the detention center where she had lived for the past 3 months. It was time to say goodbye. Miss Acosta felt her whole body tremble as she moved away from her son. A 27-year-old immigrant from Honduras, she and her partner had crossed the southern border in the fall, when Miss Acosta was about 6 months pregnant after being deported from the United States the previous spring. The couple knew they were taking a chance when they began their 1,700-mile journey back to the U.S. But to give their first child together a chance at American citizenship, to be born on U.S. soil, they had agreed that they would do anything. And this is why we need to stop this. It puts many people in danger. It takes advantage of our systems paid for by American people. This should not be happening. That baby is Honduran, not American, and it should not have any rights equal to mine under the American Constitution. This almost sounds like they kept the kid. It sounds like the kid gets to stay in the US and now goes into foster care because they have no one that's an American to take care of them. Which, that should not be the case. This baby should go home to Guatemala with its parents. Stuff like this is what should make people very, very angry. They word it in a way to try and tug at your heartstrings, but again, we cannot accept everyone from the world here. They have their own problems, and that's sad, and that sucks, but they are their problems and not ours. Absolute monster named Tesfaye Cooper, the same thug who tortured a disabled white teenager. It was a big deal because they kidnapped a disabled white man and brutally tortured them on Facebook Live, is back on the streets. The twist, he just got arrested again. He chased down a cyclist who waved at him, beat him, spat on him, and screamed "gangster disciples," and then stole the bike. Released after only 7 years for the first savage attack. In a saner penal system, this predator would never see daylight again.
What? Donald Trump. Fuck white people, boy.
No, bitch. Goof.
That's crazy that you can kidnap and torture a white man while saying fuck white people and then only get 7 years. That's crazy.
Go! On bro grave, your ass ugly on bro. Your ass on bro grave, your ass ugly, bitch.
Hey, you can open that other bag.
So I don't think we need to watch the full video of the torture from 7 years ago, but we have an article. Man behind the infamous 2017 Facebook torture case arrested again, this time for robbery at Loop CTA station. In a town like Chicago, a crime has to be pretty horrific to warrant its own Wikipedia page and draw the attention of Barack Obama. But Tesfaye Cooper and 3 accomplices managed to achieve both of those tasks when they kidnapped an 18-year-old white man with special needs in 2017 and tortured him in a hate crime they live-streamed on Facebook. Based actual news place calling it a hate crime. This is like, I know people want hate crimes gotten rid of entirely, and they probably should be because it is commie fucking subversive nonsense, but it does feel nice when they finally apply them to people genuinely hating white people. When Cooper pleaded guilty, Judge William Hooks revealed at sentencing that he had met with the victim's family, and they had gone out of their way to make sure support services would be in place when Cooper got out of prison. Why would the victim's family make sure that there was any support for the guy that tortured their child? Like, what the fuck? I would be happy that my child is alive, but I would absolutely not want to make sure support is given to the violent person that kidnapped and tortured them. Especially when there was a racial component. Like, what the actual fuck? They're interested in making sure that there are some resources that are available that will help you, Hook said, according to a Sun-Times report published in 2018, to make you understand that hatred is not something that is going to be a possibility for you when you get out. I hope they feel like fucking retards. Like, what the actual fuck? I want to know what's going through their, like, one brain cell between the both of them right now. Man, I wonder how much they support their fucking son. If their son wasn't mentally ill, he would probably be very upset about this. Cooper, 30, was arrested last Wednesday afternoon shortly after he and an accomplice chased down, attacked, and robbed a bicyclist on the Clark Lake CTA station mezzanine. Court records show. Perhaps coincidentally, the victim was a white man. I'm so shocked that the man who hates white people targeted a white man in another attack after he got out of prison. Wow! Who could have seen this coming? Surely not the family of the first victim. Also charged in the attack is Mozzie Pearson, a 33-year-old man who had active warrants for failing to appear in 4 pending felony cases. In a detention filing, prosecutors said a 48-year-old Cicero man waved at Pearson and Cooper as he passed them on his bike near Clark and Lake Streets around 1:30 p.m. Pearson and Cooper responded to the man's wave by claiming to be GDs, slang for gangster disciples, and chasing the victim into the Clark Lake station, according to the filing. How dare this white man wave at these strong black kangs? Doesn't he know his place? Once inside the station, the victim paid his fare while Cooper and Pearson chased him through the turnstile and backed him up against the mezzanine elevator, prosecutors said. With the victim cornered, Pearson allegedly punched him in the shoulder. A CPD report said Cooper approached the victim at the same time with a closed fist and tried to strike him while Pearson spat in the man's face. You know, for someone racist enough to hate white people, I'm surprised that this guy didn't die. You know, silver linings and all. He's still alive. Pearson allegedly tossed the victim's bike over the turnstile and walked out with Cooper, taking the bike with them. A CTA security guard witnessed the robbery, prosecutors said. What the fuck's the point of a security guard if they're not going to stop a robbery taking place? Like, what is even the fucking point? Why would you... A security guard witnessed the How about the security guard stops the robbery? Am I crazy? What the fuck? Damn, look at those tattoos. A victim called 911 with a description of the robbers. Arriving officers saw Cooper and Pearson run out of a nearby building as they were arriving on the scene, according to the detention petition. Pearson surrendered on the spot and the cops recovered the victim's bike about 25 feet away in a flower bed. Another set of officers arrested Cooper about a block away. Prosecutors said Pearson was carrying 10 bags of suspect heroin and 4 bags of suspect cocaine when he was arrested. If you're going to commit crime, why do you have that on you? As a black man, you're disgusted by parts of your community justifying behavior because of the past. You're tired of it. Also, why is this guy getting support? It's ridiculous. This results from brainwashing a generation of white people to hate themselves. Need to stop the anti-white movement. Hard fucking agree. Like, we had it shoved into us to like never hate somebody based on the color of their skin, and that should go for yourself as well. The like insane level of white self-hatred to just feel guilty all the time and actively throw away things that will improve your life is just crazy to me. It's just crazy. All 4 of his pending felony cases involve allegations that he shoplifted from Macy's in the Loop, according to court records. He stopped showing up for court in those cases in November. Warrants have been active since then. Cooper is charged with robbery. Pearson is charged with robbery and 2 counts of possessing a controlled substance. Judge Luciano Panici Jr. ordered both men held pending trial. Well, at least he was smart enough to fucking hold them, but Jesus Christ. What happened to those resources that the first victim's family wanted this guy to have for when he got out of prison? Did those resources help? Somehow I don't think so. The quadruple amputee cornhole pro player Dayton Weber is now pictured with a swastika star days before gunning down his friend. I don't know how this story could get any fucking crazier. We're running out of new sentences to be created. Quadruple amputee cornhole pro player Dayton Weber pictured with swastika scar days before gunning down pal. The disturbing mark appeared to be carved into his gut and was clearly visible in a cache of footage obtained by TMZ that shed more light on the alleged killer's shady past. Anyone who actually whole Hortlers wouldn't draw it like this. Right? Like, it wouldn't look this way. So it feels like someone did this to this guy for some reason. Metadata dates the image to March 16th, 2026, less than a week before Weber, 27, is accused of fatally shooting his longtime pal, Bradrick Michael Wells. He looks like a happy lesbian and not a quadruple amputee in this picture. Another concerning clip shows Weber, who was indicted on first-degree murder charges in Maryland on Monday, chugging brown liquor from a handle in the driver's seat of a car with white powder scattered across the center console. So what you're saying is that he needed to be high on cocaine and drunk before he murdered someone? That clip is dated back to July 2025, according to TMZ. Another video from earlier that year allegedly shows Weber, an accomplished hunter and outdoorsman, firing a handgun. Weber is facing life in prison after he allegedly shot Wells in his Tesla after the pair got into a heated argument on March 22nd, while driving with two other friends to his house. The amputee's lawyer, Hamad Martin, told reporters outside the courthouse on Monday the fatal shooting was an act of self-defense. This is such a goofy fucking photo. He's wearing like fucking marine stripy swim trunks, a white t-shirt, a clown mask with yellow teeth. I was like, what am I even looking at, man? He's the Jorkler. Weber allegedly shot and killed Bradrick Wells. Oh, I didn't know the person he shot was black. That makes sense why they're touting out the swastika tattoo. He had to kill or be killed. That's what this case is, Matten said. What? How is he gonna be killed? What kind of a defense is that? If they somehow managed to pull off this was in self-defense, I would be very shocked. I think the evidence is going to be clear that this was not planned, something that was not premeditated, the attorney said. This was someone in fear who did not know how to handle a situation that was such a traumatic event. This has always been a self-defense case. He is not guilty. Bro, I'm gonna need some evidence if you're gonna tell me this was a nugget self-defense, all right? Like, I need to know more information. What happened in that vehicle? The nugget knock. Weber, who was driving with a prosthetic leg. What? He doesn't even look like he has a prosthetic. That's pretty impressive. Weber, who was driving with a prosthetic leg, had accused Wells of stealing from him, and at the peak of the fight, he pulled out a P365 Sig Sauer, pointed it at Wells in the passenger seat, and pulled the trigger, according to the pair's two friends who were in the back seat at the same time. Man, do you think Batman would hold back beating up the Nuggler? My chicken nugget! How did he get outdrawn by the fucking nugget? Yeah, I agree. The story is generating questions at an alarming rate. I have more questions than anything has been answered. The alleged gunman made a name for himself as a professional cornhole player in the American Cornhole League despite being an amputee. He lost his lower arms and legs to a bacterial infection when he was just 10 months old, according to a 2023 ESPN profile. How did the Nugget manage to draw his gun and kill this other guy before the other guy could react or the people in the back seat could stop him? I don't know. Maybe I've just not interacted with a lot of nuggets, but I feel like a normal human would be able to disarm a nugget relatively quickly. I think we saw a picture of him with handcuffs when I covered this at first, but like, now I have more questions. Who put this swastika on him? Because this is not correct. So I can't believe that this was him being like, yeah, white nugget power, you know, like I can't picture that. But then you tell me he shoots a black guy with an SS and I'm like, hold on, maybe it does make sense. I don't know. They finally arrested David. We've spent like a year going over this David case. There was a singer named David who was apparently very, very popular. I had literally never heard of this man until he committed murder, allegedly. And they found a woman that he was in a relationship with. She was a minor, by the way. She was 14 when she went missing, and he is a whole-ass adult. They found her dead and dismembered, thank you, chat. They found her in a trash bag in the back of his car that had been abandoned with her limbs cut apart, and she was obviously decomposing. And they were like, we just don't know who did it. We just don't know. Who could possibly have done this? And then every time we read a follow-up article, it was more and more obvious that he had done it. But there were so many journalists who were just like, oh, David was a great singer. Look at all these things he's trying to achieve in his young age. And here's his concert tour. And here are the dates of his albums. And go listen to his music on Spotify. Like, every single article was like ball washing this guy. And I couldn't fucking understand it. Like, you guys remember? I was losing my fucking mind. I was like, why is everyone treating him like some special fucking star and not the alleged murderer that he is? David made his own nugget. Why are today's tabs nugget themed? You know, sometimes we have fun here. David was taken out of his home in handcuffs, surrounded by officers from the LAPD after he was arrested Thursday. Video footage obtained by the California Post shows the singer with his hands behind his back as he's led down a residential street in the Hollywood Hills. Insane. The singer, whose real name is David Anthony Burke, had not been seen for months prior to his arrest Thursday afternoon. He emerged wearing gray sweatpants and a black hoodie and seemed expressionless. A neighbor told the Post she witnessed so many cops on the street just before the singer was taken into custody. One officer was on a loudspeaker outside the home shouting "surrender," according to the neighbor. Authorities swarmed the Hollywood Hills home where the singer was staying to make the arrest. We came to the home with a probable cause arrest warrant for him, LAPD Robbery Homicide Division Commanding Officer Captain Scott Williams said to the California Post on the scene. We did the best we can to keep tabs on him, but once we developed probable cause to arrest him for murder, then we were on him pretty diligently. That's the Celeste Rivas, the woman that he murdered, allegedly. LAPD confirmed to the Post that Burke was arrested for the murder of Celeste Rivas. The dismembered body of the 14-year-old was discovered in the back of a Tesla belonging to David back in September, after employees in a tow yard smelled a foul odor coming from the vehicle. Detectives from Los Angeles Police Department Robbery Homicide Division have arrested David Burke, a 21-year-old resident of Los Angeles, for the murder of Celeste Rivas. Burke is being held without bail, and the case will be presented to the District Attorney's Office on Monday for filing consideration. Man. That's a girl, Foxu, not a woman. Yeah, she's 14. Our office is aware of the arrest of David Anthony Burke by the Los Angeles Police Department. The case is expected to be presented to the Major Crimes Division, at which point prosecutors will review the facts and evidence to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to file charges. A release from the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office said, "At this time, additional information is not available. We will share an update on Monday once a filing decision has been made," the release continued. Now, see, my biggest question here, why did it take them so long to establish probable cause? Rivas' family reported her missing in April 2025. We have been following this for so fucking long, holy shit. The internet knew he was guilty for ages. Yeah, it was pretty obvious to, like, anyone with a functioning frontal lobe that he was guilty. But, like, again, all of the journalists were just sucking his cock, and it was so fucking weird. This guy, Mullin, we're still deporting illegals, but we're doing it in a more quiet way because my goal in 6 months is to not have DHS on the lead story every day.
Have a different leadership style. We're still enforcing immigration laws. We're still deporting illegals that shouldn't be here. We're still going after the worst of the worst. But we're doing it in a more quiet way because my goal in 6 months is to not have DHS on the lead story every day. We want to make sure people understand we're here working for the people, not against you.
What should we do, Secretary, to one of the key demands of
And Jesse Kelly responded and said, "Why is the goal to avoid bad press? If that's the goal, then the communists succeeded with their anti-deportation op. Communists create bad press, so you change your policy. Deportations have slowed, the op was successful." And this is why I've been saying politicians need to stop caring about, like, the optics here. Once politicians say, fuck the optics, we're going to do what needs to be done, then not only will things get done, but the edges of the Overton window will shift enough where people underneath politicians will start being able to say things without getting fired or without getting canceled. But I thought that was interesting. Mullin is a backstabbing scumbag, promoting immigration as soon as he gets the job. Garbage like him and his hypocrisy is enough to start a civil war. Apparently, I really don't know enough about this guy, because I don't know anything about that. What the heck? Representatives that need to be removed from having a seat of power. This says, serving the great people of, I'm pretty sure NE is Nebraska, 02. Please correct me if Nebraska is not NE. I'm very bad with acronyms. Mr. Don Bacon said removing TPS status for Haitians living in the United States would cost 350,000 workers their ability to work at a time we're already facing serious workforce shortages. Good, they can go get work in Haiti! What do you mean? I've heard from healthcare providers and business leaders across Nebraska, I was right, including Omaha Chamber, who are concerned about the impact this would have on patient care and our economy. A good impact! It would only have a good one! Shut the fuck up! I don't see the goodness of deporting people who are here legally, working, and contributing to our country. Because they're not contributing to our country. They're contributing to sending that money back to their home country. They're not here legally. Why can't Congress represent us? And he said they are here legally. Given temporary protected status should mean temporary, not expanding it forevermore. People like Mr. Bacon here make me completely against any kind of temporary protected status regardless of the circumstances. Because if you're going to keep that temporary as permanent instead, why the fuck would I care? Also, why the fuck does Mr. Bacon have so many Oshie marks? Somebody should tell him you're only supposed to pick 2, buddy. But Kirsche, the T stands for permanent. Fuck off, Kobe! Someone said the first tranche might have burned legal and temporary. I don't know what that means. The bulk snuck in and wormed their way into TPS. Why do you hate Americans so much? Very honest question. And then Mr. Don Bacon, who needs to be removed by any means necessary, says, I will vote my Christian and American values. You've now convinced me to look at Venezuela and El Salvador TPS. Thanks. This American representative, in response to Americans not wanting foreigners here longer, is saying, I will vote on my Christian and American values to keep more foreigners here because fuck you. This is a man who does not give a shit about Americans. This is a treasonous statement. This man is, for all intents and purposes, committing treason. He is not a Christian. He is not an American. And accepting everyone and everything to your own detriment, if that was a Christian or American value, then Christianity and America both should be fucking dismantled. You, sir, Mr. Bacon, do not represent either of those fucking groups. You are a disgusting snake. I hate Nebraska, man. He is retiring and not running again? This is his fuck you tour? That's even worse. Why would you do this if you're retiring? Like, what kind of hate could you possibly harbor for the country that has given you everything? Apparently married to Angie, 4 kids, 8 grandkids, given you everything. U.S. Air Force retired, has been a representative for I don't even know how fucking long. Why would you do this to the American people? This man, in a functioning society, this man would be covered in tar and feathers. Oh, here's another fucking retard talking about the TPS bullshit.
Dangerous, and it is preventable. To deport anyone to Haiti right now is unlawful, and it would be a death sentence.
I love how Democrats admit that a country is a third world shithole by saying it would be terrible to deport the natives back to their country. Like, it's offensive and awful when Trump just point blank says, yeah, that's a third world shithole. That's a shithole country. But Democrats, they're like, well, their country's a shithole, so we need to keep them here. I'm so fucking tired of it, man. Did you ever wonder why that country might be a shithole, and maybe you're importing people who will then make our country into a shithole too? Every time you think you hate the boomers, remember you don't hate them enough. The magic dirt. Yeah, she's bald, opinion discarded. Imagine listening to a fucking baldlet, dude. Gay people being able to adopt. It's just not something I guess I've looked too much into, but it seems like there's a lot of people completely against it.
Who do you want, Dada or Pop? No, Mama. Do you want Dada or Pop? Who do you want, Dada or Pop? No. Do you want Dada? You want Pop? No way, Jose. I think. Oh. There is no mama. I'm so sorry. You have dada and you have pop.
Two choices.
No mama. No. No mama. Dada or pop.
No, again, like I said, this is not really something I've looked into, but like watching this video, my brain is just saying to me, if you're holding a baby and it keeps wanting to say mama and it wants its mother and it gets intensely confused when you tell it no mama, that feels kind of fucked up to me. That feels like maybe, I don't know, I should take a pause and be like, am I doing something wrong? Is something wrong here? I don't know. It just feels a little strange, and I feel very bad for this child. It's heartbreaking trying to brainwash an infant. Like, I don't know. I have no idea. It's a really strange fucking video. Gay man named Shane McAnally. Jesus Christ. The baby knows something is wrong. It is fucked up. That kid remembers and wants his mother. How did they get the baby? So as a gay, if you want a baby, you basically buy it from a surrogate. Which, like, again, I guess would be an entirely different conversation because you would have to talk about the legality of buying a baby for everyone because, like, there's a lot of people who use surrogacy. From the gay baby store! The baby's not gay! Yeah, it's a sad video, and it just, like, I don't know. I just feel like if I was in this position, I guess I'd have to be a lesbian, right? And I was like bouncing a baby, and I was like, you got mama and mother. I don't know. I can't think of another word for mom. And then the baby keeps trying to like ask for its dad. I'm like, no dad, no male in house. Like I don't know. It just feels like something in my brain would be like, well, the baby keeps wanting its father. Am I doing something wrong? I don't know. It's strange.